Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops.
So when you called him Floyd, I know it was in a bad light, but some people could take that as a compliment. I'm sure you didn't mean it that way.
I meant it that our black fighters fight in a style that is not pleasing to the fans, let's just say, and that's why they don't sell. Some of the black fighters, I had a young man named Terry Norris, who I molded in a Mexican style. He was an attacker, he was a killer, he's going to come and hurt you. Unfortunately, some of the fighters now is more of the sweet science. Fans don't want to see the sweet science, no matter what they say. Fans want to see somebody get hurt. And when I said that he was like Mayweather, he fought in a very defensive style like Mayweather. But watch Mayweather when he was a 35-pounder and a 30-pounder. He was a killer then. No, he fought to knock you out. He fought to hurt you. So Canelo, what did I say the other day? Conor McGregor turned Mayweather into a Mexican fighter, and Golovkin turned Canelo into a Mayweather.
Gennady Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez says, I quote, "Black fighters fight in a style that's not pleasing to fans." End quote. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, if you caught my last live stream, I talked about this very topic extensively, but the live chats, the streams tend to go a bit longer, so some people may not have immediate time to catch up, so I wanted to talk about it again. May 5th it goes down. Golovkin versus Canelo part 2, the rematch. Settle the score, judgment day, and see who can make the adjustments. They did a press conference basically for this particular fight. It's the only one. They're not going to do a full press tour because press tours cost money, traveling from city to city, state to state, that kind of thing. And the buildup is already there. So they just did a thing in Los Angeles where Golovkin trains in Big Bear. Canelo lives in San Diego. Makes it convenient for both parties. And they had a gathering, I guess you could say. You heard the clip at the beginning. Abel Sanchez said something very peculiar. He says that black fighters fight in a style that's not pleasing to the fans, and he attempts to explain, and he brings up his former fighter Terry Norris, how he got with Terry Norris and he kind of gave him a Mexican style, and this is why black fighters aren't really selling, because despite what anyone says about the sweet science, people really aren't there for that. They want to see action, they want to see knockout. Now, I totally disagree with what Abel Sanchez is saying. Listen, this is the easiest way to refute somebody, with cold, hard facts. And the fact of the matter is, the most successful boxer in boxing history, financially, from a point of blockbuster events, live gates, pay-per-view viewership, how many buys it did, is Floyd Mayweather. That's why he calls himself Money Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather, right? Floyd is black. He is African American, whatever you want to call him. So just off of that, you cannot say that black fighters fight in a style that's not pleasing to fans, because there's no reason that Floyd would have generated something that no other fighter has done. The record-breaking numbers with Pacquiao, record-breaking numbers with Canelo and De La Hoya and Conor McGregor, right? He's the common denominator. Now, some people probably paid to see Floyd Mayweather lose. Some people like his style and they want to see him perform, etc., right? But it doesn't matter, because they're still paying customers. There's been thousands of exciting ass fighters who put on an action. So let's say Brandon Rios, never once been, well, actually, again, I can't take that. I take that back. He fought Pacquiao on pay-per-view. But aside from the Pacquiao fight, I don't think he's really been on pay-per-view, you know, and he's come forward as they get. He's true Mexican style, if we're talking about Mexican style as it's coined and how they define it. You know what I mean? Come forward, put on a show, give it your all, show heart, truck forward. You know what I mean? Brandon Rios does that. So, I mean, it's ridiculous, and I think it's pretty absent-minded and irresponsible for Abel Sanchez to say something like, black fighters fight in a style that's not pleasing to a fan. You can't just group all black fighters together and be like, boom, this is what it is, deal with it. Because there's no one rule that applies to any ethnicity, right? Errol Spence Jr. is not boring. I've watched I watched several of his fights. He's not boring. Deontay Wilder's fighting this weekend. If he wins, most people are projecting it by knockout. He's not boring. And we could do this all day. Terrence Crawford, Gary Russell Jr. There's a lot of guys who aren't boring. Gary Russell Jr. fought a Mexican fighter in his last fight, Escandón, right? He was letting his hands go like crazy. He had a couple knockdowns. The first knockdown was crazy. A right just bop out of nowhere. So, you know what I mean? We could do this all day. There's a ton of black fighters that we can list from top to bottom in various divisions that aren't boring. The Charlo brothers, they're having highlight reel knockouts. One of the Charlos is calling out Golovkin. So if you think that black fighters fighting the style is not pleasing, fight Charlo. You know what I mean? See what he could produce with Golovkin if Golovkin gets past Canelo. You know what I mean? But to me, I know why Abel is doing this. Is trying to punk Canelo in a backhanded way by making the fans, or attempting to make the fans, pressure Canelo into fighting a style that benefits his fighter. And to me, that makes it sound like you're worried about what Canelo's doing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of conversation from the Team Golovkin side. Hey, we feel we won the first fight, this, that, and the third. But the statements like this, and calling Canelo a runner, and he entered the ring as Floyd Mayweather. No, I mean, he entered the ring as a Mexican and left as Floyd. That's showing me, to me, that sounds like a concern, a level of insecurity in your fighter's chances. Because you can't control how Canelo chooses to fight. You could try to pressure. Canelo's a smart dude. He's been fighting at least as a pro since he's been 15. You know what I mean? He's going to fight how he wants. He's going to fight to win. And most fighters do that. I've seen the most valiant, toughest Mexican style or whoever granite chin warriors, and when they get hurt, they all act the same, majority of them. And then the ones that don't usually get knocked out. You know what I mean? But everyone else, when they get badly hurt, they take a knee, they reach out and try to grab, they run, they backpedal and retreat. You know what I mean? It's human nature. So I resent comments like this because I think it holds no weight and no merit. You can't lump all fighters. James Kirkland is always in action fights. His fight with Alfredo El Perro Angulo, his fight with Canelo, whether he won or lost, those are all exciting fights, right? So, I mean, you can't make statements like this. It's just like I said, I think Canelo is a great fighter, and Abel's trying to get him bent out of shape to fight a style that he wants him to fight, and it doesn't work like that. You can't control what the next man does. You have to just make the adjustments. And then as far, like I said, as far as saying black fighters fighting a style is not pleasing to fans, you can't speak on behalf of fans. There's some people who really do like the sweet science, and they appreciate their favorite fighters are Cuban or are black. You know what I mean? Some people's favorite fighter might be Mexican, might be Russian, might be from Ukraine, might be a Lomachenko or something. You know what I mean? But you can't do that. You can't generalize and relegate a whole race or ethnicity to, hey, this just ain't cutting it. Nobody likes this style. Maybe you don't like it, but say that. You can't just say it's not pleasing to fans. So, I mean, I'm glad that they're not doing a big press tour, because we don't need a bunch of quotables like that. Let's just see the fighters go into the training camp, prepare the best way they know how to, and ready themselves for May 5th. And we'll see who wins in the end. But again, I think these are irresponsible comments from Abel Sanchez. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And that's really all I can say. Drop your thoughts. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.